If your salary went up in the last few years, but somehow your bank account still feels personally attacked every single month, congratulations, you're not bad with money. You're just living in 2026. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Even if you're doing everything right, inflation is quietly eating your money like it's at an all-you-can-eat buffet and just discovered dessert. And the worst part? It doesn't look dramatic. There's no alarm, no breaking news, no one knocking on your door saying, hey, your money is losing value. It's just your groceries costing $20 more, your rent slowly creeping up like it's training for a marathon, your energy bill acting like it's a luxury subscription, and your savings just sitting there, looking pretty and doing absolutely nothing. And if nothing changes, by 2027, your money will simply buy less. Not because you messed up, but because you didn't adapt. But here's the good news. You don't need to become that guy who wakes up at 5 a.m., meditates, drinks something green, and somehow has 6 income streams before breakfast. You just need a few smart, simple moves. So in this video, I'm going to show you 5 ways to inflation-proof your life. Beginner-friendly, realistic, and yes, you can actually start today. Let's start with the biggest mistake almost everyone makes. It's keeping too much money in a savings account. Now I get it. Saving money feels responsible. It feels adult. You log into your bank account, you see a number, and you're like, wow, look at me, financial stability. Your parents are proud. Your bank is very proud. Your money, not so much. Because here's the problem. If inflation is around 3 to 5% per year, and your savings account gives you maybe 1% on a good day, you're not growing your money. You're slowly losing it. It's like you're on a treadmill, walking forward, feeling productive. But the treadmill is actually moving backwards faster than you're walking. That's your savings versus inflation. Now, this doesn't mean never save money. Please don't go from I save too much to I now live financially like a pirate. You absolutely want an emergency fund. Life happens. Cars break. Boilers decide to retire early. Unexpected expenses love showing up uninvited. But once you have a safety buffer, letting all your money just sit there is like hiring a team member who does nothing but eat snacks. Which brings us to the second move, letting your money actually work for you. Now don't worry, this is not where things get complicated and I start drawing charts that look like modern art. We're talking about simple, long-term investing. Think of it like this. Instead of your money sitting still, it's placed into something that has historically grown over time, like a broad stock market fund. You're not trying to guess which company will go to the moon. You're not competing with hedge funds. You're basically saying, I believe that over time, businesses grow, economies expand, and I'd like a small piece of that. And yes, the market goes up and down. Sometimes it's green, sometimes it's red, sometimes it looks like it had a bad day. That's normal. But over the long term, it tends to grow faster than inflation. And the key word here is long term. Not next week, not next month, not I invested $100, where is my yacht? This is more like planting a tree. You water it, you give it time, and you don't dig it up every 3 days to check if it's doing something. Because if you do that, congratulations, you now own a very stressed plant. Even small amounts matter. $50, $100 a month. Consistent, boring, almost suspiciously simple. And that's actually the secret. Boring works. Now, before you start imagining yourself as a calm, long-term investor who totally doesn't panic when markets drop, let's talk about something less exciting but extremely powerful. Cutting your fixed costs. I know. This is the part where everyone suddenly remembers they have something important to do. But hear me out. Inflation hits your fixed expenses the hardest. Rent, energy, insurance, subscriptions. These things don't ask for permission before going up. They just do. And because they're automatic, you stop noticing them. It's like a silent leak in your wallet. So here's a slightly uncomfortable but very effective challenge. Open your bank app and actually look at your monthly expenses. Look for everything that repeats: streaming services, apps, or that gym membership you signed up for during a very optimistic phase of your life. You might find $50, $100, maybe even more, just quietly disappearing every month. And here's the fun part. Cutting $100 in expenses is basically the same as earning $100 extra, but without taxes and without extra work. It's one of the easiest wins, and almost no one does it consistently. You don't have to cut everything. You're not trying to live in a cave. Just be intentional. Keep what you actually use and remove what you forgot existed. Now that you've stopped money from leaking out, let's talk about increasing what comes in. Because this might be the most underrated move of all: investing in yourself. And no, I'm not about to tell you to follow your passion and magically become successful overnight. That's not a plan. That's a motivational poster. What I mean is improving your skills in a way that increases your earning potential. Because inflation makes things more expensive, but it also rewards people who become more valuable. This can be simple: learning a new skill that's in demand, getting better at what you already do, asking for a raise, taking on more responsibility, starting a small side income. You don't need to do everything at once. You don't need to become a productivity machine. Even a small improvement can make a big difference over time. Because here's the truth: your income has way more upside than your savings account. Your savings grow slowly. Your income, that can jump. And no, this doesn't mean working 24/7 and forgetting what your children look like. It just means being intentional about growth. Now finally, let's talk about something we all do every day: spending money. Because you don't need to stop spending. You just need to spend a bit smarter. Inflation doesn't mean never enjoy your life again. That's not the goal. The goal is awareness. For example, buying in bulk for things you always use, paying attention to price changes, switching brands when something suddenly thinks it's a luxury product. Because companies are very creative when it comes to hiding price increases. Sometimes the price stays the same, but the product gets smaller. Sometimes there's a new and improved version that costs more but is basically the same thing. It's like your favorite snack went to the gym, lost weight, and now charges you extra for it. So just paying attention, just noticing already puts you ahead of most people. You don't need to optimize every dollar. You're not trying to become a budgeting influencer. You're just trying to avoid losing money without realizing it. Now let's put all of this together. Imagine two people. Person A does nothing, keeps all their money in savings, ignores their expenses, doesn't invest, doesn't improve their income, and spends without thinking too much. Person B makes a few small changes, keeps some savings for safety, invests a bit every month, cuts unnecessary costs, improves their skills, and spends more intentionally. Fast forward to 2027. Same world, same prices, same inflation. Person A feels stuck. Everything is more expensive. Their money doesn't go as far. It feels like they're running faster just to stay in the same place. Person B, he's not a millionaire. He's not living on a private island, but he's more stable, more in control, less stressed, and actually making progress. And that's the difference. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to understand everything. You don't need to become the finance friend that everyone asks for advice. You just need to start. Pick one thing, just one. Maybe today you review your subscriptions. Maybe you set up a small monthly investment. Maybe you finally look into improving a skill that could increase your income. That's enough. Because doing nothing, that's the only strategy that guarantees you fall behind. And inflation is very patient. It doesn't rush. It doesn't panic. It just slowly does its thing while you're busy living your life. So the question is simple. Are you going to let your money quietly lose value over time? Or are you going to make a few small changes that put you back in control? Start small, start simple, and start today. Because your future self, still buying groceries in 2027, still paying bills, still wondering where money goes, is either going to thank you or wish you had done something sooner.